Hello Swatantra TV viewers. I am Mahima, welcoming you to our English bulletin with latest news, updates and analysis. Claiming that Telangana suffered destruction of 100 years during the 10-year BRS rule, Chief Minister A. Revant Reddy on Sunday said and added that his government is working for the state's cultural and economic revival and expressed his desire to make it a destination for the world. Addressing the 10th Telangana Formation Day celebrations organized by the state government here, he thanked Congress leader Sonia Gandhi and former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh for fulfilling the decades-long demand of statehood for Telangana during the previous UPA regime at the centre. As long as the history of Telangana exists, Sonia Gandhi will be recognized and respected as mother by the Telangana society, he said. As per the wishes of the people, the government is proudly announcing the song Jaya Jaya He Telangana, penned by noted Telangana poet Andeshri, as the state's official song from today. During the official event, Revant Reddy unveiled the song for which music was composed by Oscar-winning music director M. Keeravani. Pointing out that an emblem reflects a nation's history, Revant Reddy said the government is working on a new emblem taking into consideration the suggestions and advice from various sections. After paying tributes to martyrs at Telangana Amraveerula Stupam at Gun Park, the Chief Minister reached parade grounds, where he unfurled the national flag.
Jaya Jaya He Telangana Janani Jaya Ketanam Mukoti Gontukalu Okkataina Chetanam Taratarala Charitagala Talli Neerajanam Padapadana Nee Pillalu Pranavillina Shubha Tarunam Jai Telangana Jai Jai Telangana Jai Telangana Jai Jai Telangana. జీవన జావళీలు చాలువార కవి గాయక వైతాళిక కళల మంజీరాలు జాతిని జాగృత మరచే గీతాల జనజాతర అనునిత్యము నీ గానం అమ్మ నీవే మా ప్రాణం జై తెలంగాణ జై జై తెలంగాణ.
తెలంగాణ వచ్చి 10 ఏళ్లైనా ఇప్పటికి మన రాష్ట్ర గీతము లేదు. ఉద్యమ కాలంలో ఉవ్వెత్తున స్ఫూర్తిని రగల్చిన జయ జయ హే తెలంగాణ జననీ జయ కేతనం గేయమే మన రాష్ట్ర అధికార గీతం కావాలని ఆనాడు ఆశించాం. సహజ కవి అందశ్రీ రచించిన ఈ గేయం మన రాష్ట్ర గేయంగా ఉంటుందని విశ్వసించాం. ప్రజల ఆకాంక్షల మేరకు ఈ పర్వదినాన జయ జయ హే తెలంగాణ గీతాన్ని రాష్ట్ర అధికార గీతంగా సగర్వంగా మా ప్రభుత్వం ప్రకటిస్తున్నది. చిహ్నం ఒక జాతి చరిత్రకు అద్దం పడుతుంది. జాతి చరిత్ర మొత్తం నిక్షిప్తమై ఉండేది చిహ్నంలో మాత్రమే. తెలంగాణ అంటే ధిక్కారం, తెలంగాణ అంటే పోరాటం. రాష్ట్ర అధికారిక చిహ్నంలో అది ప్రతిబింబించాలి. ఆ దశగా ప్రజాప్రభుత్వం నూతన చిహ్నాన్ని రూపొందించే పనిలో ఉంది. వివిధ వర్గాల నుంచి వచ్చిన సూచనలు సలహాలు పరిగణలోకి తీసుకొని రాష్ట్ర నూతన చిహ్నాన్ని రూపొందించే పనిలో ఉన్నాం.
Amid exit poll reports indicating a poor show by the BRS in the recently concluded Lok Sabha elections, former Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao on Sunday downplayed it, saying whatever be the outcome, the party will work for the people. Addressing the leaders and workers of the party on the occasion of the 10th anniversary of the formation of Telangana state, Rao, also known as KCR, said the BRS's defeat in the recent assembly polls was a temporary setback. Somebody said the BRS would get 11 seats. Some other person said we get only 1 seat. Somebody said 2 to 4. This has become gambling. There was a good response among the public during High Bus Yatra. A good result can, however, be expected. Alleging that some people are saying that they will finish off the BRS, KCR said the Pink Party is like an ocean and no one can destroy it. Even 6 months after coming to power, the Congress government has not announced even a single policy for sectors such as industry, IT, and agriculture, he said.
జయాలు వచ్చినాయి, అపజయాలు వచ్చినాయి. జయం వచ్చినట్టు పొంగిపోలేదు, అపజయం వస్తే కుంగిపోలేదు. కానీ దాన్ని మలుచుకుంటూ పోయినాం. చివరికి చాలా 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 ప్రయాసపడి రాష్ట్రాన్ని సాధించుకున్నాం. ఆ సాధించుకొని రాష్ట్రం అపాయింటెడ్ డే వచ్చిన రోజే ఈ రోజు, ఈ జూన్ 2. ఇట్లా తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం వస్తుంది, 10 సంవత్సరాలు నిండుతాయి, దశాబ్ది ఉత్సవాలు కూడా జరుపుతారు. ఎవడు కూడా కళ కూడా లేదు కనీసం. అయితే వాడవాడు వీడవాడు పాపం అవగాహన ఉన్నోడు లేనోడు బీఆర్ఎస్ కథమే చేస్తాం భయ్ మోకాలంత ఎత్తులేనోడు కూడా మాట్లాడుతుంది. కథమైతుందా? ఇంత వ్యవస్థీకృతమైన పోరాటం, ఇంత ఏర్లు 25 సంవత్సరాల వృక్షం కదా బీఆర్ఎస్ అంటే. అసెంబ్లీ ఎన్నికల మనం ఓడిపోయింది. సరే కొంత నైరాశ్యం వస్తుంది కదా సహజంగానే. ఎక్కడ వాళ్ళు అక్కడ ఉన్నాం 4 రోజులు. మళ్ళీ నేను బస్ ఎక్కితే మళ్ళీ అదే గర్జన, అదే కథ. అంటే విషయం ఏంటంటే అంత రూట్స్ ఉన్నటువంటి, అన్న పునాదులు ఉన్నటువంటి ఇవి వచ్చేటివి టెంపరీ సెట్ బ్యాక్స్. చాలా చిన్న విషయం, ఇవి సహజంగా వస్తుంటాయి. చాలా జరుగుతాయి ఇట్లా హిస్టరీలో మనం చూస్తే. మనకన్నా ముందు కూడా 10 ఏళ్ళు కాంగ్రెస్ అపోజిషన్ లో ఉండే కదా, మరి కథ అయిపోయిందా? కాలే కదా, మళ్ళా ప్రభుత్వానికి వచ్చింది కదా. అట్లనే గ్యారంటీగా మళ్ళా రేపు వచ్చేది బీఆర్ఎస్ 100%.
Hyderabad, one of the bustling metropolitan cities of the country, ceased to be the common capital of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh from Sunday as per the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act, 2014. Beginning 2nd June, Hyderabad will be the capital city of Telangana only. Hyderabad was made the capital city of the 2 states for 10 years when the bifurcation of undivided Andhra Pradesh was carried out in 2014. Telangana came into existence on 2nd June 2014. After expiry of the period referred to in subsection 1, Hyderabad shall be the capital of the state of Telangana and there shall be a new capital for the state of Andhra Pradesh, it added. The formation of Telangana state was fulfillment of a decades-long demand when the statehood was realized on 2nd June in 2014 following the passage of AP Reorganization Bill in Parliament in February 2014. Telangana Chief Minister A. Revant Reddy had last month told officials to take over, after 2nd June, buildings like the Lakeview Government Guest House in Hyderabad which were given to Andhra Pradesh for a period of 10 years. Despite 10 long years after separation, several issues such as bifurcation of assets are still unresolved between Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday chaired meetings to review the heatwave conditions and the post-cyclone Rimal situation, especially in the northeast region. Government sources said Modi is also chairing a meeting to review the 100-day agenda of the new government to be sworn in after the Lok Sabha results are announced on 4th June. Exit polls broadcast on Saturday predicted a massive win for the BJP-led NDA, with Modi set to retain power for a 3rd straight term. Top bureaucrats were part of the meetings the Prime Minister chaired to review the post-cyclone situation and the prevailing heatwave conditions in parts of the country. He is also chairing a meeting to review the preparations to celebrate the World Environment Day, which falls on 5th June. Much before the Lok Sabha polling exercise began, Modi had set in motion the exercise for different government ministries to prepare the 100-day agenda for the new government. He had asked his council of ministers to prioritize programs and initiatives for the first 100 days. The Election Commission sought factual information from Congress leader Jairam Ramesh on Sunday on his claim that Home Minister Amit Shah has called up 150 district magistrates and collectors ahead of 4th June counting of votes for the Lok Sabha polls. In a letter to Ramesh, the poll panel has asked him to share details regarding his claim by 7 p.m. on Sunday. The Election Commission has referred to his post on X on 1st June, in which the Congress General Secretary had alleged that the outgoing Home Minister has been calling up district magistrates or collectors. So far, he has spoken to 150 of them. This is blatant and brazen intimidation, showing how desperate the BJP is. It is requested that details of 150 district magistrates to whom such calls have been allegedly made by the Home Minister along with the factual matrix or basis of his information are shared by 7 p.m. today 2nd June, so that appropriate action can be taken, it has told the Congress leader.
77 दिनों में चुनाव आयोग को 118 शिकायतें प्रस्तुत की। ये 118 शिकायतें आचार संहिता का उल्लंघन, रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पीपल्स एक्ट 1951 का उल्लंघन और सुप्रीम कोर्ट के अनेक निर्णयों का उल्लंघन है। इस 117 शिकायतों में 14 शिकायत सिर्फ निवर्तमान प्रधानमंत्री के खिलाफ है। उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री के खिलाफ 8 शिकायतें हैं, निवर्तमान गृह मंत्री के खिलाफ 3 शिकायत, बीजेपी अध्यक्ष जेपी नड्डा जी के खिलाफ। ये सब जानकारी आपको मिल जाएगा। मैं कुछ सारांश दे रहा हूं आपको। 117 शिकायतों में से निवर्तमान प्रधानमंत्री के खिलाफ 14 शिकायतें।
The Bharat Rashtra Samiti candidate Naveen Kumar Reddy won the Mahbubnagar Local Bodies Constituency MLC by-poll, securing 763 votes and defeating his Congress rival Mane Jeevan Reddy by a margin of 108 votes. The by-poll was necessitated by the resignation of the incumbent BRS MLC Kasireddy Narayana Reddy, who had joined the Congress and won the Kalvakurthi Assembly seat in the 2023 state elections. The BRS victory in Telangana Chief Minister A. Revant Reddy's home district of Mahbubnagar comes as a setback for the ruling Congress party. A high voter turnout of 99.86% was recorded. The BRS has a strength of 1039 elected representatives in the local bodies, while the Congress has 241 and the BJP 119. Though there was floor crossing by elected representatives of local bodies, the BRS was able to win the elections. This has boosted the morale of the BRS cadre who were disappointed over the party's debacle in the assembly elections. Police are asking the public's help in finding a 23-year-old Call State University San Bernardino student who has been missing for several days. The student is from Hyderabad. Nithisha Kandula was last seen in Los Angeles on Tuesday, 28 May, though the exact area is unknown. California State University, San Bernardino Police Chief John Gutierrez shared a photo of Kandula on X, saying she could be in a 2021 Toyota Corolla with license plate number 9KXU509. Kandula is 5 feet 6 inches tall with dark hair and dark eyes and weighs about 160 pounds. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Los Angeles Police Department's Southwest Division at 2134852 or the CSUSB Police Department at 9095377777. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Sunday surrendered at the Tihar jail here after his interim bail granted by the Supreme Court in the excise policy-linked money laundering case ended on 1 June. He was granted the relief for campaigning in the Lok Sabha elections. Before surrendering, Kejriwal paid homage to Mahatma Gandhi at the Rajghat, offered prayers at the Hanuman Temple in Konoita Place and addressed up leaders and workers at the party office. During his address, Kejriwal said that he was going back to jail not because he was involved in corruption but because he raised voice against dictatorship, he said. He was given a 21-day relief by the Supreme Court. These 21 days were unforgettable. He said that he did not waste even a minute. He campaigned for saving the country. The app is not important, it is secondary. The country comes first, he said. Kejriwal also asserted that all exit polls predicting a third term for the BJP-led NDA at the centre were fake. The Chief Minister paid homage at Mahatma Gandhi's memorial at the Rajghat, offered prayers at the Hanuman Temple in Konoita Place and addressed workers and leaders of the AAP before surrendering. Kejriwal's wife Sunita Kejriwal was seen accompanying him. AAP leaders, including Atishi, Kailash Gahlot and Saurabh Bharadwaj, Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Singh and Sandeep Pathak, and party leaders Durgesh Pathak, Rakhi Birla and Reena Gupta were also present. YSRCP to challenge EC's directive on postal ballots. The ruling YSRCP General Secretary Sajjala Ramakrishna Reddy on Sunday said that the party would challenge Election Commission's directive on postal ballots. The move came after the Andhra Pradesh High Court refused to intervene into Election Commission's directive on the validity of postal ballots. The court suggested to the petitioner, who happens to be the YSRCP General Secretary Leela Appai, to explore alternative platforms to challenge the Election Commission's orders. Ramakrishna Reddy appealed to the party counting agents to be very vigilant during the counting of votes, particularly the postal ballots. The TDP chief Chandrababu Naidu has been using every trick in the book. He told the party counting agents not to lose their cool. Meanwhile, training classes were conducted for YSRCP counting agents. On this occasion, Ramakrishna Reddy participated in a virtual meeting from the party's central office on Sunday.
ఏదైతే ప్రజాస్వామ్యంలో మనం ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేసే ఇది రిజల్ట్ అనేది జెన్యూన్ ప్రజల ఆకాంక్షలను ప్రతిబింబిస్తాయి. ప్రజలు ఏమి ఓటు చేశారో, ఎవరికి బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ ఇచ్చారో అవే బయటకు వచ్చే అవకాశం ఉంటుంది. అయితే పోటీ ఇంత తీవ్ర స్థాయిలో ఉన్నప్పుడు, అందులోనూ మన రాష్ట్రంలో ఇప్పుడున్న పరిస్థితుల్లో ప్రత్యర్థులు ఏ రకమైన దీనికైనా పోయి ఎలాంటి కుట్రలకైనా పాల్పడి వాళ్ళ దీనికి తగినట్టు మలుచుకోవడానికి వ్యవస్థల్లో కూడా చొరబడి చేసే అలవాటున్న ప్రత్యర్థులు మనం ఇక్కడ ఎదుర్కొంటున్న నేపథ్యంలో వాతావరణం కూడా కొంచెం ఇదిగా ఉన్నందువల్ల మనం మోర్ అలర్ట్గా ఉండాలని చెప్తున్నాం. మామూలుగా అయినా బాధ్యతతో ఉండాలి, ఇప్పుడు అదే బాధ్యతతో ఉండాలి. బాధ్యతతో పాటు అక్కడికి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత మనం పూర్తి మనసు లగ్నం చేయడంతో పాటు అన్నిటికంటే ముఖ్యంగా ఎక్కడ బ్యాలెన్స్ అనేది మనం లూజ్ కాకుండా, అంటే మనకు ఆ క్షణంలో అవి చేస్తున్నవి తప్పని తెలిసినప్పుడు కోపం వచ్చి ఇంకో రకంగా రియాక్ట్ అయ్యాం. మనం జరిగే పనిని సాఫీగా జరిగే పనిని అంతటా మనం చెడగొట్టుకోకుండా, ఎట్టి పరిస్థితుల్లోనూ సంయమనం కోల్పోకుండా, బట్ అట్ ది సేమ్ టైం మనం అనుకున్న మన అబ్జర్వేషన్ ఏదైతే ఉందో పొరపాటు జరిగింది అనుకుంటే ఆ పొరపాటు రికార్డ్ అయి తీరాలి, చేరాల్సిన దానికి వాళ్ళు చేరాలి. మరి ఏమి 2 రోజుల్లో ఏం సాధిస్తారు వీళ్ళు అనేది అర్థం కావట్లేదు. ఎందుకంటే అంతా అయిపోయింది, ఈవీఎంలో రికార్డ్ అయి ఉన్నాయి, అయినా కూడా ఎందుకు ఏ ఆశతో చేస్తున్నారంటే ఎక్కడో డౌట్లు వస్తాయి. మేబీ ఎక్కడైనా కౌంటింగ్లో ఏదైనా మిస్చీఫ్ చేయడానికి అవకాశం ఉందా, ఎందుకంటే అధికారం మా చేతిలో ఉంది కదా అని ఏమన్నా ప్రయత్నం చేస్తున్నారా. ఆల్రెడీ అధికారం లేకపోయినా ప్రతిపక్షంలో ఉండి కూడా వ్యవస్థలను మేనేజ్ చేయగలిగిన చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు ఇంకా వాళ్ళు అలాంటి జోడీ దొరికిన తర్వాత వాళ్ళ పేరు చెప్పుకుని ఇంకా ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఏం కెలుకుతారో, ఎట్లా మేనేజ్ చేస్తారో అనేది ఇప్పటికే మనకు రుచి చూపిస్తున్నారు. ఎన్నికల కమిషన్ ద్వారా సిస్టమ్స్ని మేనేజ్ చేసుకుని మ్యానిపులేట్ చేసి తద్వారా ఫలితం సాధించగలిగిన కెపాసిటీ ఉంది అనుకుని అది తప్ప వేరే తెలియని వ్యక్తి ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారంటే చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు. ఆయన దాంట్లో ఎంతవరకైనా పోతాడనేది మా అందరికీ తెలుసు.
The Income Tax Department has imposed a penalty of over 4.68 crore rupees on Larsen and Toubro Ltd, according to a regulatory filing. The department levied a penalty of 4,68,91,352 rupees in connection to the tax proceedings of erstwhile L&T Hydrocarbon Engineering Limited. Pursuant to the income tax assessment of the company and consequent adjustment in the returned income for the assessment year 2020-21, a penalty is levied on such adjustment to the returned income, it said. However, the conglomerate said it will file an appeal against this order as it does not agree with this levy and expects a favorable outcome at the higher forum. L&T is a $27 billion Indian multinational enterprise engaged in engineering, procurement, and construction projects, high-tech manufacturing and services, operating across multiple geographies. Reserve Bank of India is unlikely to cut the benchmark interest rate at its upcoming monetary policy review meeting, taking place soon after the announcement of the Lok Sabha election results amid inflation challenges, said experts. The Monetary Policy Committee may also refrain from rate cut as economic growth is picking up, notwithstanding the elevated interest rate of 6.5% prevailing since February 2023. The meeting of the Reserve Bank Governor Shaktikanta Das-headed MPC is scheduled for June 5 to 7. The decision will be announced on 7 June. Results of the Lok Sabha elections will be announced on 4 June. The central bank last hiked the repo rate to 6.5% in February 2023, and since then it has held the rate at same level in its previous 6 bi-monthly policies. If the interest rate remains untouched again on 7 June, it would be the 8th time for the RBI to maintain the status quo on the benchmark repo rate. The government has mandated the Reserve Bank to ensure the consumer price index-based inflation remains at 4% with a margin of 2% on either side. The retail inflation based on the Consumer Price Index, CPI, was 4.83% in April this year. The BJP on Sunday returned to power in Arunachal Pradesh for the third time in a row, winning 46 seats in the 60-member assembly and bagging 4 more seats compared to its 2019 tally. In sweeping the assembly elections, the counting of which was held during the day, the BJP decimated the opposition parties, especially the Congress, which was relegated to the 5th position with only 1 seat after NPP 5, NCP 3 and PPA 2. 3 seats went to independent candidates. Chief Minister Pema Khandu asserted that the momentum of what happened in the land of the rising sun, a sobriquet for Arunachal Pradesh, will spread to other parts of the country on 4 June when votes for the Lok Sabha elections will be counted. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated the people of Arunachal Pradesh for the landslide win. Khandu himself won uncontested from the Mukto Assembly constituency. 9 other BJP candidates also tasted victory unopposed. Thank you for watching Swatantra TV English Bulletin. For a complete and comprehensive English news bulletin, please do watch Swatantra TV every day. This is Mahima, signing off. Keep watching Swatantra TV.